Hello, everybody. Hopefully all the things do be working. It is me. I am here. We are currently in Spurs. Blur! Holy shit. 110 stream streak. Blur, thank you so much. Holy hell. Thank you for hanging out. So many people here. Blur with the first, Rai, Pie, and Ghost Pepper wanting first, only getting this lousy redeem, but still loving me, appreciate it. Sardonisms, muted for work meeting. Rai, hello. Peter, hello. Everyone, hello. Don't forget Peter's here, and also everyone else, but mostly me. Peter, thank you for that little thing that you shared on Discord today. I didn't know about that. And I kind of wonder, because I don't know what part of the city that's located in, but I kind of wonder if Ghost and I wandered in that area at all during the time that we were there. Man, I would love to go back to Scotland. That would be super fucking cool. Don't know when it'll happen, but sorry, Yodzers. Would love for that to happen. I'm slowly creating a setup in Spirit City that is washed out of all color and stuffed with plushies just because. Nice. We have to do some work, actually. I think the last time we were looking at Domerin's room. And just trying to make sure that we were happy with all of the settings. Very different vibe for Domerin's room than mine. He's got his spicy ramen over here. He's got this guitar, which he can actually play, unlike me. He's got some plants that I'm sure someone gave him. The only reason there are things on his walls is because, you know, somebody came to visit. Somebody came to visit and hung those things up. He would not have done that himself. That is not who he is. But he's got his rainbow mug. He's got his plain, boring, default light fixture. You know. Oh, can I? Oh, you know, I could change that from being a violin to something else. Interesting. Although I do think I will keep it. It's a little bit of an Easter egg there. Obviously, Domerin would not have a ton of cute things sitting around, so... I'm doing pretty good today, Peter. I'm a bit tired. It's rainy here in real life, not just in my background. So there are definitely going to be some yawns today. But that's how it goes sometimes. Very glad to share it. It's kind of a smaller bit of knowledge. I don't know if it's widespread, but I like sharing it. I had never heard it, so I was very interested. It's at the top of the Royal Mile. You may have walked right past it. I think we may have. For many years, it was one of those... What does IYK... If you know, you know. Is that what that stands for? I'm too old, Peter. I don't know this. For many years, tourists would get shocked seeing people flat out spitting on the ground, which is absolutely fucking rotten, don't get me wrong, but in that heart it's encouraged. Interesting. I definitely, one of the few things that really does ick me out is spitting. So if I had seen people doing that, I definitely would have been squicked out by it. But I kind of understand, having been given the explanation, I kind of understand why it's encouraged. Just making sure that I've chosen the best options for Domerin. Again, just a plain boring lamp, because that's the kind of guy he is. I feel like he wouldn't have fancy lights. He might have lanterns, though. But we do have these lanterns, so maybe that's too many lanterns? If I change it? I just think it's hilarious just having one candle thing in the middle there. Oh, I think that's the one Ghost Pepper has. We have to do one for Willow. She's gonna have, like, all of those. I do think we have the most Domerin one. He definitely wouldn't have, like, crystals and that kind of thing. Wood for sheep? That is such a... That is such a Settlers of Catan reference. Wood for sheep. I just noticed that. How was D and or D? I think it went pretty good. Ghost Pepper gave the party a puzzle to figure out. They eventually did figure it out. It took some time. It was a object puzzle. They had to find the coordinates of 6 stars based on objects that had been drawn to their attention the previous week. So it was very interesting, but they got there. They did get there. Woof very adorably said, "I'm not going to brute force this," and then described the exact process of brute forcing as how he was going to solve it. So that was pretty cute. I believe, although memory fails me, that the history of the prison that was there was something to do with the English rule over Scotland. That would make sense. That would make sense why, you know, it's not exactly a treasured memory that there had been a prison there. So yeah, this is Domerin's room, and now at some point, maybe later today, maybe we'll start on this today. We have to give Domerin a kitchen. We gotta give this man a kitchen. Because they just have, like, all the default stuff here. So... we gotta start changing things over to be Domerin's kitchen. I think I had red curtains for him. Did I actually have those curtains for him? I didn't, but we could maybe. Oh no, those are like sheer lacy curtains. Oh, do they not have that pattern of curtain over here? Interesting. 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 I thought you were going to say we need to give Domerin a kiss. You could try. He would not probably be on board with that, but you could try. But now, is that too... I wish I could see it over there, because I feel like pattern on pattern is going to be no bueno. But we could just do, we could just do this. And make the curtains red. I'm sitting in Domerin's room. Feels weird. Now, the problem is I don't know which color is which. They don't actually have a ton of red in here, do they? How do I have his... Oh, that's pretty similar. They gotta match, you know? They gotta match. Red is such a good color, but bright red, blood red is too dark. Strawberry red. They unfortunately don't have a lot of... I was gonna go for like a little bit more slightly muted color. I mean, I guess I could fiddle with it some more. The curtain color and make it like darker. Like that. But then is that too dark? That's not bad. Speaking of matches, I read part 1. It sparked joy so much I can enjoy part 2 when please. It should be August 25th is when the second one is coming out. I require you to please and respectfully put out a book of gathered short stories so I can hold a physical copy. It's something I could consider for the future. I do have a lot of little shorts on my blog to choose from, which would be pretty cool. I feel like this backsplash needs to be addressed. The most boring. What's the most boring one? Interesting. This is what I'm looking for. Just the like gray, just the like gray brick backslash the gray brick. Trying to decide if Domerin would have a nice countertop or a shitty countertop. I do kind of like that. Is that just like concrete? Interesting. I have the like marble in mind. I do think that kind of looks like Got a lot of stuff left to do, but I do think that kind of looks like the start of his kitchen. But for now, go back to my kitchen. My beautiful kitchen. Lovely. He would have a yes countertop. What would that look like, Pie? Oh my goodness, so many hydrates. Let's start with 3. 1, 2, 3. I definitely can't publish my little Domerin in a physical form, because I can't actually sell that, unfortunately. But it would be cool to have a collection of short stories. I suggest Chaos McBedlam Face to go with Spicy McSpice Face and Megan McTypey Face. The many names. It would indeed look like that, what you described right now. Just a countertop with yes written across it? Is that what I'm hearing? I can't get enough of this little dude. He's so cute. We'll have the daikon today. It is just, yes, it just is. Thank you, Pi. I feel like what we really needed in our lives today was some Zen philosophy. And you've definitely provided that, for sure. Alright. We're only going to be doing 3 sprints today, hopefully, because we're only going to need 3 sprints today, hopefully. We will work on Domerin's kitchen in between a little bit, here and there. We are done with lobby-style streams for the year, because I have finished that particular project, so we will be having a chatty stream again tomorrow. We'll be doing some edits for Everyone's Child, and hopefully, next week, potentially, we'll be starting Ghost Path, so there'll be lots more clicky-clacks coming up as we start a new project and get into that. The council has approved the yes countertop. Unfortunately, I don't know how to add custom countertops into the game, but I will keep an eye out for anything that looks remotely yes. No, it has nothing to do with Ghost Pepper. It references ghosts, like spirits, because there is a haunted train. Will we be able to stalk him throughout his life? You need to talk to Ghost Pepper about that, but I'm gonna go with probably not. I don't think he will be on board for that. I think that potentially he will not want to be stalked. I don't want to speak for him. I don't want to speak for my husband, but if you want to stalk him, you need his permission. I can't give you that. I cannot give you permission to stalk my husband. I misread that as ghost pants. That would be a very different story. I invite you, Peter, to write the story of Haunted Pants. If I get his permission, it's not stalking. Well, I can't condone you stalking my husband. Taryn, hello, how's it going? Oh my goodness, the conversations we have on these streams. We're gonna get started here in just a minute. I'm gonna pop AFK. Sorry. As soon as Taryn's like, I see you, I yawn. Hello, Taryn, how's it going? And are you excited to be on Winds of Chaos next week? Have you already made your character? Do we get to know what class you're doing? What type of character did you make? What do you mean the conversations? This is a normal topic. I don't know how normal it is to talk about stalking someone's husband, but you know, I don't really know what normal is. So excited working on character now, kind of overwhelmed. You are coming in at a high level, so there's going to be a lot of options. I'm curious, have you... Ooh, a halfling barbarian muscle mommy. Hell yeah. Have you played D&D before? And, if so, like, do you have a favorite class? Like, is barbarian your, like, go-to favorite, or is it something new you want to try? Every time Ghost tries to put on pants, they turn into a hat! Oh my goodness. Can we add ghost pants to the collection of stories? I don't think I'm gonna write a story about ghost pants, but I would love to see what you guys write about ghost pants. I assume that means haunted pants, rather than pants that belong to Ghost Pepper. Have never this high. Have played, but never this high of a level. Never played a barbarian, but I love punching stuff. Heck yeah. Barbarians are great. Because they're super simple and straightforward. I think you'll want to look at the various things that you can do with your subclass. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. I think there's the Wild Magic Barbarian who gets to roll on a table every time they go Barbarian, every time they go into Rage. And they get little wild magic powers. There's the Spirit Guardians route, which means that every time you rage, you get to have Spirit Guardians, which is super cool because at higher levels, you can get your Spirit Guardians to protect your allies and do, like, revenge damage. And then there's also the route of, I think it's Frenzy, where you get to do, like, extra attacks, and have, like, mindless rage and stuff like that, which can pull you out of being... like mind controlled and stuff. So off the top of my head, those are the 3 subclasses I know about, but there's lots of options. Gonna be doing wild magic! Heck yeah, that's gonna fit really well with the setting. Jakella, everyone's favorite Jakella, is a spirit guardians, ancestral, rage barbarian. Me, Joe, and Pi can team up. Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to that team up. So yeah, I'm going to take a quick 2-3 minute break here, reheat my coffee. When I come back, I will do Pi's 4 hydrates, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know there were only 6. When I come back, I will do Pi's 3 hydrates that I have not done yet, to start us off, and then we'll get going. Basically, so far in my little Domerin, we've established Silver Garden and Aravalia as places within the setting. We've established Domerin as our main character, who is the captain of the Royal Guard for Princess Rose Draftmore in this case. She has shown him a crystal that is very important for him to retrieve should things go wrong. We've met Crescent, Domerin's boyfriend. We've met some people in the town, including a drink stand operator and a curiously troublesome popcorn vendor. And then in Act 2 of Part 1, the worst came to pass. There was an attack. Domerin was able to get Princess Rose Draftmore out of the palace, but now he has to go back and retrieve the crystal that she said was very important for him to retrieve. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Today's opening scene is going to be about Domerin trying to get that crystal, and then hopefully we're going to go back into the town and see some more ponies that were... suggested as cameo ponies. Barbarian is great, though I made the mistake of having Bard as my first ever class played. My brain was not ready for that. Bards are great, though. Bards are super great. So excited about playing. I told my mentor about it at our meeting this morning. Heck yeah! Taryn, I can't wait. You're gonna have tons of fun. Ghost is a super fun DM, and the people on Winds of Chaos are great to hang out with and play with. So you're gonna love it. All right, I'm gonna pop AFK, and when I get back, we're gonna do our first round of clicky clacks, and we're gonna hopefully do 3 rounds of clicky clacks. I want to get through at least 2 scenes today, and I have 2 scenes in mind to get through, so we'll see how that goes. I'm feeling a little sleepy, so it's gonna be interesting to see if this is a slow start this morning. Sardonisms is back. Welcome back. Hello, hello. How was the meeting? I hope it went smoothly. We are about to start our first sprint. We've got 3 hydrates in the queue. Let's take care of those because I definitely need that coffee. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's save. This is my little Domerin episode 2, Act 1. And I just need to take a quick peek at where I left off so I don't repeat anything. To know. All right. I think I am good to go. Mostly listened and took notes. I mean, not a bad way to spend a meeting, honestly. If you gotta have a meeting. Alright, look away, I'm gonna yawn again. Ooh, sorry, very yawny today. It's partially the overcast. It definitely does not help. And let's go ahead and dig in to our first sprinty spront. I've never even heard of vtext.com. Woof! 21 months of subscription. Thank you so much. Appreciate the heck out of you, my friend. How are you doing? We're working on My Little Domerin today, so of course Woof is here. We've just begun our first round of the clickies and the clackies. Love you too, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well today. My advice, Taryn, is just take it level by level. Do it bit by bit. Level 18 is a lot. Yeah, if you basically start with a level 1 character and then level them up slowly, it'll be much easier than starting with a level 18 character, which level 18 characters are basically mini gods in their own right at this point, so... Pathfinder has a lot more rules than D&D 5th edition, for sure. Shy Revenge, hello, hello. Done handwriting, now I'm typing and grammar checking as I go for this one. Heck yeah! I saw yesterday that you were up to chapter 5. I was lurking in Terran's stream for a while. Thank you, Blur, for the posture check. Stroop. I am back on cam. We've finished our lobby streams for the year because I finished that particular edit. And we are breaking into some fan fiction today. It's going pretty good, guys. I'm gonna be happy to report my word count at the end of the sprint. Finished. We are done with our first 30 minutes of sprint. We are into our first 15-minute break, and I have 1,642 words to report. One full scene written. Heck yeah! Sometimes when I spend a long amount of time working on edits, I worry that I lose the momentum that I have for writing. But here we are today, definitely shaking off those cobwebs and getting into it. Oh, sorry. Oh, for the yawn. Let's do the stretch. Let's do the stretch first, since we already yawned. Oh, heck yeah. Oh. My body is creaky today. It needs that. Heck yeah, hitting that save button. Because we got a save alert from Blur. And then, cheers. A coffee sip. A sippy sip of that coffee. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's take another peek at, let's take another peek at Domerin's kitchen. Now, I want to go back. I want to look, I think I have a lot of the dark, like, dark black, which is funny, because I think I have, like, black and stuff in my kitchen too, and then like the steel gray accents. So let's see. That's what I have, I think. Kinda like that. Oh, and then that's the hardware. What floor do I have for him? Oh, okay. Probably don't want to do... Probably don't want to do a floor that looks like carpet. In the kitchen, because I think that's basically what he has in the other space. Ooh, I kind of like that. Opens it up a little bit more. I don't know that I would want anything... don't know that I would want anything that looks like... Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know that I'd want anything that looks like carpet. In the kitchen, that's what he has in the other room. Because it looks like carpet. And I don't know that I would ever want carpet in my kitchen, to be honest. I do kind of like that. Part of me thinks that Domerin would just have, like, the world's oldest and most busted up stove. I guess you could change these too. Like, I could make that red. I'll have to get the kiddo from school, but I'll be back shortly as he is spending this afternoon with my mams. Heck yeah, Taryn. Good luck with the pickup. We'll hopefully see you later. Wouldn't his stove be pristine since he doesn't cook? Yeah, but also, I feel like it would just also be super beat up because he would just get the cheapest. Although I guess stoves and stuff tend to come with the place. Ooh, snazzy. Would he have a red one? Would he have a red one, I guess, is the question we're all asking ourselves right now. Interesting. I do kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, interesting. Ooh. Man, do I like it darker or do I like it... I kind of like the dark one. I kind of do like that. I don't really know how Domerin it is, but I kind of like it. And also, I kind of feel like if somebody... if somebody gave him this, like... Oops. Ugh. I'm gonna do it right, I swear. If somebody gave him this, like, old set of... if somebody gave him this old set of appliances, that's not bad, yo! It's not bad. Actually, kind of really like that. It is so very different from mine. Oh, interesting. I want to make the ceiling match. I think... Hang on. I'm gonna cheat for a second and pause. What do I have? What do I have for the ceiling in here? Ceiling. I have that one. Okay. Do they have it? Yeah. So that one we want to have match, of course. We want certain things to match the other room, of course. Now I think it did the beam accents auto-magically. Because they look the same. And then for the windows... Kelly Knight Author, welcome in! Thank you for the follow! Hello! How's it going? We are currently fiddling around with Lo-Fi Sessions, Spirit City a little bit to make a room for my character Domerin. So I have that as the window style, and then I have the black as the window color. So we can use the same windows And then I should be able to set the color here, I think? They're more of like a black gray. So do we have... Love this game! Me too! I'm super excited for the new DLC. And I actually have a character, I have a D&D character who, her sort of big thing is that she ended up working for the train. She didn't actually work for the train. It was, they faked her an ID. So, I'm kind of, planning to do a, I'm kind of planning to do a room for her so that she can have the train when we get to the train, so that I can make her a customized train. Oh, there we go. That matches pretty well what we have on the other side. So I think that's all the stuff that is like easily carried over. And then I kind of want to give a sort of rich brown color. Don't know how that'll look. If I should just make it match, but I kind of like the really rich brown for him. Instead, I don't know if that looks weird because it doesn't quite match, but I do like it. It's starting to feel a little bit more Domerin-y. Every moment it feels a little bit more like him and a little bit less like me. Of course, if we switch presets, this is my kitchen. So this is my kitchen. Very, very different. Quite a bit different feel. To the one that we gave Domerin. So, very interesting. Just saw your level. I'm at level 12. Listen, I have almost 1,000 hours in this game. I have 944.6 hours in this game. I use this pretty much all the time. Writing is my full-time gig. And I use this program pretty much all the time. Even when I'm not streaming, like, this is kind of my go-to productivity app. So I'm always in here. I'm always in here. Before you know it, you too will be level 100. So you will get there. Slowly turning most of my Spirit City home white, off-white, and gray. I remember you said that with little accents of pink and purple. And plushies, you said. I love that you can have 5 saved layouts. Yes, when they first started the game, there was just the one. Then they added 2 extra, and then they brought it up to 5 with the most recent update, which is super cool. This is mine. We also have Domerin's house, which we're working on, and then I want to make one for Willow, because I think it's going to be radically different than both of the other two. Mine is very much just like, this is my aesthetic. I like rich colors, but cool, calm colors. I like the cool lights. I like the, I like some of the nerdy stuff, as you can see. And then Domerin's decor is a bit darker, a bit richer, a bit plainer as well. So it's kind of fun. And then with Willow, I think I want to do a lot of like the living walls, a lot of the greenery and the hanging plants, and just go like way overboard on like the plant stuff. So I'm looking forward to that, but I figured before we did that, we should actually finish Domerin's kitchen. That reminds me, I want to hang out at the beach. Me do like the volcano, not gonna lie. So, and we can change our spirit companion because we've been hanging out with the carrot for a bit. Let's hang out with Katsudan. Change him to his red. Because I like the spicy one. I like the spicy boy. We can hang out with Dust Bunny next sprint. We'll do some sipping. My favorite activity to do with Dust Bunny is the sipping because he dips his little button into the drink and it's adorbs. I am going to pop. The reason why this is actually paused is I'm going to pop AFK and use the restroom. And when I get, it is adorable. It's super adorable if you do the sipping with the Dust Bunny. I really appreciate that they actually put a lot of thought into how some of the different spirits would interact with the world, and it's just top tier chef's kiss. Chapter 5 done. 3,400 words. Hell yeah, Shy. That's awesome. I am gonna pop AFK and I'm gonna remind you as I go to make sure that you grab something to eat and or drink if you need to. Keep hydrated, move about from time to time, use the restroom. That's what the breaks are for. Also, Callie Knight, thank you so much for taking a look at my books. Let me know if there are any series that you have any questions about, and I will absolutely answer those as soon as I get back. fine tradition that me and the Writers Troop almost always rate each other at a BRB screen. Shout out coming to ya. Oop. Helps if I type the command properly. Writers Troop, how was your stream today? I hope it was very productive. Gonna do a mutant hybrid setup where I'm watching Megan on tablet but chatting via phone because the stuff that reads to me is only on my phone and my tablet is laggy. Heck yeah. As long as you are happy and vibing, that is what matters most. The computer was so slow, I think I need a reboot. Good luck, Writers Troop. I hope that fixes it. I do hate when the technology does not want to cooperate. Me and my coffee maker have been having a bit of a struggle with each other this week. I actually, we have an old Keurig. It's not super old, but we bought ourselves a new, like, proper coffee maker that does, like, lattes and stuff. But we kept the old Keurig around, and I actually used the Keurig this morning instead. I was like, you know what? This coffee doesn't taste as good in the machine anyway, and we've not been getting on. In fairness, it was mostly my fault. I forgot on Monday to check the water level in the coffee machine, and our coffee machine doesn't warn you if it doesn't have enough water to do the cycle. It just stops in the middle. We're so used to the Keurig, which would always be like, hey, I don't have enough water to run this cycle, but the new coffee machine is just like, that was all the water I had, bitch, sorry. And then yesterday, I actually forgot to put beans in. Oh, also on Monday, I was using grounds, and I put grounds in, and it was like, I ain't got grounds. And I was like, dude, what did you do with my coffee? And it was like, I don't have any. So I had to give it more. And then it finally ran the cycle. Megan used baked beans in her coffee. No, I use coffee beans. There's a grinder in the machine. And then yesterday I just straight up forgot to put the coffee beans in. So I was like, well, but I guess it had like a tiny little bit of beans from Ghosts last cycle because it spit out something. But I was like, whatever, I just ran the cycle again. But I was like, I wonder what it's gonna do when I forgot to put beans in. Samino Games, hello, welcome in. Megan is having a Monday kind of week. I mean, only with my coffee maker. Everything else has been fine. It's just me and the coffee maker have not been vibing. Jenna said hello, welcome in. How's it going? My very goodness. New coffee machine is like, y'all are grown-ass adults. You should know to fill the water reservoir. It is. And I should know to check the water reservoir before I start. Because me and Ghost have had that whole conversation about, like, it'll just stop in the middle of the cycle. So make sure you check and see if it has enough water. And it was Monday morning. I was bleary-eyed and I completely forgot. And I was just like, well, I guess I'll just run an extra cycle. Megan and the coffee maker are going through a difficult period in their relationship. Yeah, this week has been rough. We are about to kick over. I'll hit a pause here so we don't kick over prematurely. We're about to kick over into productivity mode, so I'm going to get quiet for the next half an hour and clicky-clack some more of this story. Currently, we're working on something called My Little Domerin, which is a My Little Pony fanfic featuring that grumpy elf boy right there in the corner. Below me, Domerin, he is the main character in my Aravalia Chronicles, which you can find on Amazon. If you do exclamation books, I think you can still use the exclamation Aravalia command as well. It's slightly out of date. But I think it does take you I am overdue on fixing my my command, so that will take you to my website where you can check out some information on the Arvalia Chronicles, which is a high fantasy story that takes place in a modern world. So it's kind of a clash of modern magic, modern technology, and magic, where my characters fight dragons and go to the magical Starbucks afterwards. Rating while you're lurking is like waking up somewhere strange and wondering what you did last night. Hopefully, you don't feel regret after a few minutes here. We have a chill but chaotic vibe sometimes. Gonna go because I need to reboot my machine. No worries, Vanessa. Thanks again so much for the raid. I hope your computer decides to cooperate with you after the reboot. And I hope that you have a very productive rest of your day. Cheers, Pie. So yeah, we are writing episode 2, act 1 of My Little Domerin. Woof, what do you mean I see how it is? What do you mean I see how it is? What does that mean? Are we gonna resume timer? Samano Games, thank you so much for the follow. If it doesn't boot it again. I used to regularly threaten to throw my laptop out the window. I get it. Ignoring me to work for half an hour. Listen, Woof, you know what these streams are. Also, you'll be more sad if I don't, because you want to read this just as much as everybody. For those that don't know, this fanfic was unlocked by the community during the fundraiser to replace my computer. So if I don't write it, people will be upset. Apparently I can't spell constable today. I always say I'll stop threatening inanimate objects when it stops working, and I have yet to stop threatening them. Well, there you go. I threaten my hardware. Not so much Langdale here. He's been my previous computer, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. Actually, Langdale's just about to turn a year old. At the end of August, beginning of September, I think it was September 5th that I set him up. He's just about to hit that 1 year mark. My rainbow boy. I could actually configure that to be different, but I like the rainbow, so I'll leave it. I'm sure he appreciates the birthday wishes. That does also mean we're just about to the anniversary of when my last hard drive death happened. Astrid, hello! How's it going? Welcome in. Just doing world building. Awesome. Working on a fanfic today, a fanfic that was unlocked by the community. I'm actually up to 2,615 words from today and hoping to get a few more out here. Hoping to get at least another 400 out here in this sprint. And we will have one more sprint to do for today after this one to see if I can finish this scene. Came home with his first A! Hell yeah! What subject was it in, Taryn? Did we get to know which subject? It's awesome no matter what, but I'm curious. I'm curious what he aced. Math! Math is the hardest subject for me. That's awesome. I am not a math person. I know many math people. I am not a math person. Astrid Starry, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you enjoy your stay in our little cozy chaos corner of the interwebs. Hey, your first A in kindergarten is still a big deal. The basic plot is that a group of 4 teenagers find out that they have magical powers and get put into a program to train them on how to use those powers. But then suddenly this terrorist group shows up and the kids are forced into being full-fledged agents in the organization, even though that's usually a job for an adult. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Alright. Heck yeah, we're at 3,304 words. We got some more pony cameos happening. I think I shall be able to finish this scene when we get going again, because I should only have about 1,000 words left to do. That was another 1,659 words in the second sprint. Pretty consistent. I shall take it. And we get finished with this scene, and then we'll wrap up for the day. Heck yeah. Currently in the process of world building, and soon I will start with the first draft of the pilot script. I'm thinking for the genre it would be young adult, urban fantasy, supernatural. Sounds about right. Always have to tell people because people assume it's going to be a book, but I actually want it to be an animated series, probably on YouTube. Heck yeah! So is animation your main interest, Astrid? I know almost nothing about animation, but my brother-in-law actually went into animation and special effects, and he actually works for a special effects company. And I was in high school, I thought I had to give up my dream of writing because it wasn't realistic, and now here I am in my mid-30s doing the thing. Hell yes. It's always worth going for the thing. Probably similar to Amphibia or Gravity Falls. Nice. I don't know if I'm familiar with Amphibia, but I do know about Gravity Falls. Main character is a trans man, and such good representation. Hell yeah! Shout out to getting those queer characters in our work. It's so important. Absolutely important to have that representation. More of an actor-writer, so I would definitely need help with it. It's not my major, and I really do it myself, but I have a bunch of art friends. Well, hell yeah! It's always nice when you have friends you can collaborate with. You can tell I've been watching a lot of Dimension 20 because I keep saying hell yeah. which is basically Brennan Lee Mulligan's catchphrase. Oh my goodness. Alright, I think we'll actually, like, sit in Domerin's house for the next sprint. Because we've been working on Domerin's house, so we may as well. But let's work on his kitchen a little bit more. Let's see. I think we're at, like, objects. I don't know that he would have anything on the beams. Gotta be honest. He's a plain boy. He would not be into this sort of thing. So we might leave that just plain. Kitchenware. I think this is the one. I think this is the one I have as well. Just the black. The just plain black one. Although I do like that one has, like, the mugs and stuff hanging up. And I could just make it... Oh, interesting. I could just make it black. And for that one, like that rich, dark... wood. I think that's actually what I have in my kitchen too. I have a style. Let's do the table actually. Love Dimension 20 got me into D&D. Hell yeah. Again with the hell yeah. I'm currently watching Escape from the Bloodkeep. I have not watched them in any form of order. But my favorite is probably Fantasy High, and I'm currently watching Escape from the Bloodkeep, which has been super funny. I don't think he's a tablecloth guy. I want to say I feel like this would actually be his table, but then his friends would have bought him like a real table. His friends will have bought him like an actual table of some description, much like they bought him a bed frame and put it together so that he would actually use it. We have to assume that Domerin cooked none of this. Although he is capable of cooking breakfast, I will say. Breakfast is like the one meal that Domerin is actually good enough at cooking. We could go spicy ramen. We could go rainbow mug. I don't know if the spicy ramen makes sense with the breakfast on the table. Most of this stuff is too fancy for Domerin, let's be honest. You could have a cocktail. Ooh, extra breakfast item. Extra breakfast item. Just go with the mug. Another thing that his friends will have purchased for him and given to him. Fantasy High was my introduction. Oh, it was so good. So charming. I'm really hoping they do a senior year. They've not made any promises or indications that they would ever do a senior year, but I would love to see them do a senior year. Fig is my favorite. I love Figurath Faith. And her relationship with, I'm gonna forget her name now, but her relationship with her Phoenix Bay is my favorite. What's her name? Why can't I think of her name? It's because we have I keep trying to think of her name, and I keep thinking of our friend in the community, Amaya, and I'm like, I know her name is not Amaya. Let's see. Hanging item. I don't know if Domerin would have anything. Ooh, he could have the candles. I don't know that he would have anything hanging, to be honest. But I do like the candles. Oh yeah, I have to buy those. I don't have them already. I have to buy them. Let's see. So on mine, I have the bonsai in that space. It's actually very Domerin. What did he have? Microwave? Coffee maker. This is probably the kind of coffee maker. Domerin doesn't have a fancy coffee maker. Domerin has the, like, drip poor coffee maker. I have that one in my room. Toaster, also very potentially Domerin-y. Basket of bread. I want a basket of bread. Trying to decide where... I do think the coffee maker is a good shout. Ooh, that's for the mug. Interesting. Okay. And then I think... where does this go? No. So I think the microwave he would probably have over there, or maybe over here. I think that's where I have my microwave too. I guess we're going all in on giving him just red appliances. I feel like that is just kind of what has happened. I don't know how it happened, but I guess all of his appliances are red. There was a sale at the appliance store, and all of the red things were purchased. Well, let's see. Which of these looks better red? Okay. Definitely that one. And then I think item 5 is over here. So we'll put the bread box over there. We're not gonna turn that red. I don't think that would be red. I don't think he would have a red bread box. Okay, and then this is the one that we haven't set yet. I have the cactuses there in mind, but I don't think Domerin is very planty. He's a very practical person. Let's go with weird fruits. I feel like that's pretty Domerin-y. I feel like that's I feel like that's a pretty Domerin-y kitchen, to be honest. It turned out a lot redder than I anticipated, but I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. We do actually also have a... I do actually also have a Domerin. I almost never use his avatar, but he does have one. So there we go. And he, of course, hangs out with the kitty. We said that we were going to sit by the fireplace. And hang out with the dust bunny. And, do some sipping. Something that Domerin would probably never actually do is sit and silently contemplate, but Bard! I love the canon that you're just always hanging out in his house while he's away. I mean, he can't stop me. If he's not there, he can't stop me. What's he gonna do about it? Reading another Danme. This one is a high school romance between top student and the school tyrant, and I'm addicted. Ooh. Started using my exercise technique, going up and down the stairs over and over 20 times. It's a good... Apparently, I didn't know this when I chose it. Apparently, it's actually really good exercise. Apparently, stair climbing is actually really good for you. I was just like, I don't have time to do anything else. I'm just gonna walk up and down the stairs a lot because they're there. And I kind of Googled it afterwards, and because of the incline, it's actually really good for your heart. And I didn't know that. Guess he should update his home security. And stop living in my head, for sure. Bard, how are you doing? I hope you're cozy, comfortable, and doing okay. I won't say doing well, because I know you're going through a rough time. But I hope you're doing okay. We're glad to have you here. They do make machines that are just going upstairs indefinitely, so I guess it's probably pretty good. Yeah! I mean, I knew it was, like, a legitimate exercise, but I guess I didn't realize that, like, as a, like, recommended exercise for just, like, your normal day-to-day, it's actually one of the better ones. Having a bad time, but I'm here. Bard, we are glad to have you here, no matter what kind of time you're having. We appreciate the hell out of you. I am gonna go pop AFK, which is why the timer is paused again. I'm gonna pop AFK, I'm gonna use the restroom. We'll hang out in Domerin's house with Domerin. I'm gonna change the background, though. I don't know if I really want to be in winter right now. Let's hang out in the forest instead, actually. I'll make it, I'll make it daytime. And we'll hang out in Domerin's house for the final sprint. We are writing about him today, so it seems wildly appropriate. I didn't realize how hard it would be until I did it. Definitely pace yourself. The mistake I made was when I first started doing it, I just went really hard. And I, like, went really fast up and down right away. And you tire out really fast. So it's a good idea to pace yourself and move at a steady pace up and down, because it'll still get your heart going. But then you can sustain it for longer, if that makes sense. Like, it's just stairs, there's 12 steps, how hard can it be? I know, right? And then you get a minute and a half in and you're like, okay, I'm dying. I've gone up and down the stairs 4 times and I am dying. But I found that if I moved at a steadier pace, and then every now and then do a really slow one. It helps you sustain it a little bit more. Also, it helps your thighs hate you slightly less. Because that was one of the things also when I started doing the stair thing, is like, my thighs were like, you bitch. We'll do 10 and then a short break, then 5 and then a short break, and then the last 5. Hell yeah! Sardonisms, I'm so glad that you found something that's working for you. I've started doing my dance routines again as well, which I'm happy about. But just anything you can get in, really, honestly, is you gotta move around for your heart, guys. Just, if anyone's listening to this, just the thing that kills you is sitting still. So just get up and move around. However you do it, that's the most important thing, is to just have movement. Standing desks are nice, but also you still need to move around, because standing still is just as bad as sitting still. That's your PSA for today. Also, use the restroom. Grab yourself something to drink. Stay hydrated. I'm going to do the same, and then we will do our final sprint for the day while we hang out with Domerin and Dust Bunny. Alright, guys. I hope you washed your room real good. And I hope, like in old country, your room washed you back. Alright. There's one more yawn. Sorry. Let's get our final sprint indicator up and resume. Enjoy hanging out with Domerin for 30 minutes. Gonna be muted, hopping into a call with a friend because he's helping me with my new D&D character. Blur, thank you for hanging out. If I don't get another chance to say it, we appreciate having you. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Common Flower Girl, hello! Thank you so much for the lurk. I hope you enjoy these soothing clickety clacks. I'm almost done with this scene, actually. I'm so excited. There's a pony cameo happening, and these ponies were suggested by none other than Bard Owl. Bard requested a trio of ponies based on a certain group of people, and currently they're appearing in the scene. The fastest fingies in the rest do rest. That is 4,374 words total for this here scene, for two scenes for this here act 1 of episode 2 today. And in the last sprint, I think I started there. So for the last sprint, that was 1,090 words. So my prediction of 1,000 words left to go was accurate. Heck yeah. I'm gonna let the timer finish, of course. Got a couple other things that I can do in the background here. Rest my head on a window while it rains outside. It's raining here today in real life as well. Fed the cats and made myself a tasty reused takeout container of leftover pulled pork mac and cheese. Oh, that sounds so good, Sardonisms. Oh, pulled pork is the best, but pulled pork mac and cheese? Oh, yeah. That is the best way to mix leftovers. What's your favorite season, Cademon? Oops. Haven't eaten yet and nothing I have sounds good. No, Bart, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm gonna make myself a salad after stream. And I'm gonna put some tuna into my egg salad from last night so that I have tuna and egg salad. I'm gonna have a sandwich and a salad. Also, I think there's a proper name for this, but I don't know it. Ghost has promised tonight that he's going to make egg and rice. I guess it's a like Japanese breakfast dish where you take rice, like hot rice, and you put a raw egg into it, and you just kind of mix it up so it becomes all custardy and delicious. We're gonna have that for dinner tonight, and it sounds fantastic. Last time he fried an extra egg to put on top. Chef's kiss. It was so good. Started listening to Dan Brown's books on audiobook, Angels and Demons. Nice! Fall is also my favorite season. It's so pretty. I like spring and I like fall. But fall has, like, the pretty colors. I don't know if there's a name for it. I'm going to butcher this pronunciation so hard. It's called Tamago Kake Gohan. Apparently. Egg on rice, essentially. Consisting of cooked Japanese rice topped or mixed with raw egg and soy sauce. It's so good. It makes like a little custardy type thing. And it's just really good. Really, just really delicious. Simple, deceptively simple. I appreciate you writing it out for me, Sardinisms, but I'm just gonna accept that I don't speak Japanese. I was hoping it would have, like, a simple name, but it didn't. I know, like, maybe 3 Japanese words. But that's what it is. That's why I linked it in Wikipedia. It's super good. And Ghost makes it, and it's really delicious. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. He was like, I can make breakfast, or I can make the eggy rice, which is essentially Japanese breakfast. And I was like, eggy rice. I like me a breakfast. I like me a breakfast for dinner, but man, that eggy rice was so good the last time he made it. Let's see who do be streaming, because I'm gonna raid in a minute. Wednesday, there's apparently not a lot of writers on Wednesday. So we might raid somebody that Ghost Pepper raided the other day. I think recommended by someone else in the stream. I'm not sure, but this person is named Curio Scurio? Kurioskiro? I haven't heard them say their name, so I just assume that I'm pronouncing it wrong. But they're arting today. So we might head over there when the timer ends. Have my own little bunny race in my world. Void bunnies who live in the void between dimensions. Oh, those sound so cool. So quite literally, they dimension hop. Wanted to share a bit more about my world since I was gone for a minute. That sounds so cool. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not cross-stitching today. Hey, you do not need to be sorry, Common Flower Girl. No one is ever obligated to share their time, especially if they are not feeling it that day. Any chance I can spy yours before the end of stream? You can! I can show you the one I've been working on. There's a couple that you may not have seen. This is the one I'm working on right now. So this is a hot dog man for our resident hot dog friend Joe, who I don't think is actually... I don't think he's actually lurking right now, so I don't think he'll actually get to see it. This is almost finished. You can kind of tell it's cut off on this side, but there's like a spill of mustard and ketchup that goes down at the bottom that I have to do. And it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bit of condiment still on his head that needs done. But this is getting pretty close to finished. I'm really happy with it. The bun is a little bit oranger than I expected, but it's actually, so I just bought like a bunch of colors, so when I don't have the colors, I just closest match, and that's actually the color that was in the pattern, so I guess this was the color that was intended. I would have chosen a slightly more tan color otherwise, but it still looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So we have that boy. I don't know which other ones of mine you've seen, Common Flower Girl. I don't know if you saw the finished dragon. So this is by far my biggest project. This one's for me. So this is the dragon. And if I get it closer, hang on, let me move my coffee. If I get it closer, you can see the beadwork. So there's many beads on this one. It was quite a great deal of work went into this one. So I worked on this one for a good 6 months, on and off. Probably more than that. It was probably closer to 8 months because I took breaks. So probably close to 8 months of work. Very big, very beautiful. I have to decide how I'm gonna frame her at some point. Haven't decided exactly how, but very happy with how she came out. So that was my first time actually doing beadwork. I had never actually really done a cross stitch with beads before that. So I did that one. And then I may as well just show off everything I have close to the computer. So this is for our friend Flannelsaurus. This is a nice Tyrannosaurus in space. So that's gonna go off to him in a few months. I was just asking about the hot dog, but now I'm getting a full show. I mean, I've worked so hard on these, I may as well show them off, eh? I don't think any of them, aside from the dragon, I don't think any of them are as detailed as the one you're working on, Flower Girl, but I am quite proud of them. And this one isn't done. This one needs backstitching, but I'm about to start working on the backstitching for this one. So this one is just kind of a little bit blobby right now, but you can see who it's meant to be. And that's also for our friend Flanny. Getting ready to finish that one. Which one is your favorite, Taryn? The Tyrannosaurus in space? And then, just because they're here, and they're the ones I haven't shown off, these are for Barred Owl. I'm hopefully going to get these in the mail by the end of the month. That's my goal. I'm in the final stages of getting these ready to go out. So all 4 of these little owls are for our friend Barred Owl. I don't know if she's still lurking, but hopefully I'm going to have these to her, at least in the mail, by the end of the month. Getting ready to go to their final destination. I just have a little package that I'm hoping to put together to go along with them. So getting those ready, and of course the fan favorite, Pirate Boy. They're like little pixel art. They're very adorable. I love them to bits. So that's what I've been. I can't. I have a couple more that are finished, but have gone on to their final destinations. So there's a couple more that I can't show off, but that's pretty much partial to the scarf one. He's cute too. Winter Owl. There's kind of one for each season. I do like this boy. He's very cute. And he looks very cozy. So, there we go. But yeah, Hot Dog Man is almost finished. And I'm excited. I almost started him going in the wrong direction. I apologize in advance if I murder your name. Barney Sema, thank you so much for the follow. If I've said your name wrong, please let me know. I do that. Let's do a stretch. Heck yeah. Winter, spring, summer, and pirate. Yeah, the 4 seasons. Actually, I think he's supposed to be summer. 'Cause this one is clearly winter. And then this one is fall. And then I think this one is supposed to be spring. So I think pirate is summer. But really, there should be a season for pirates. Really. I almost never say names right when I first meet people, to be honest. My brain doesn't cope well with words that have run together. So I never know where to put the breaks in. So I tend to just be like, hello, I'm going to murder your name. Please let me know how you want me to actually say it. Winter, spring, pirate, fall. Perfect. As it should be. We are going to go ahead and raid out. Like I said, I kind of just met this person the other day, but we don't have a lot of writing streamers online at the moment, and no one that we haven't rated, like, super recently. Plus, this person only has 189 followers, so let's go over and say hey, and build that up a bit. I never get tired of listening to people try to read it as sardonic and then realize there's an extra syllable. Actually, I think yours was slightly easier for me to pronounce because I did recognize it as being root, like as sardonic being the root to it. So I was like, oh, okay, but I probably still messed it up. Gonna be honest, I probably still messed it up. Let's get ready for a raid. Tomorrow I will be chatting with you guys. We are actually done with our lobby style stream, so we're going to have a chatty stream again tomorrow. I'm going to be working on edits for Everyone's Child Book 5. So that's going to be happening. There'll be slightly less clicky clacking, but we'll be doing the regular 3 sprints to get through everything. So look forward to that. Next week, it's a little up in the air whether or not I'll be streaming or how often, because I anticipate I'm going to have some health stuff going on this weekend. So keep an eye on the Discord for next week's schedule, but I should also be over on It's Swift's channel on Saturday night, fingers and toes crossed for the usual Cozy Chaos stream. And I will be taking the week of August 18th off of work. So I won't be writing that week. I won't be clicky-clacking. But we will probably do at least one crafting stream. And I'm hoping maybe if I can make it come together, we'll finally do our Dear Ephema AMA. I'm thinking that I might just craft during it and spend the whole stream crafting as Ephema and answering your guys' question. That's been long coming. So I will be streaming that week at some point. It just won't be clicky clacks. So look forward to that. But for now, I'm gonna go eat some food, you guys, because it's lunchtime. Thank you guys all so very much for hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of all of you. It's nice to see some new faces. And some returning faces, and to chat with you guys again. Writers Troop, thanks again for the raid. If you're listening, I hope that your computer behaved after restart. The rest of you, and also Writers Troop, I hope you have a fabulous and productive rest of your day. Take care of yourselves until I see you again. Remember to eat, to sleep, to drink, to get up and move around, to stretch, because these meat sacks that we're driving don't come with a maintenance manual, but they require a lot of maintenance, you guys. I love you all. You're the best. Hope to see you again tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. PST.